Who won the NPFL 2024 championship? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the vlog. If you're new, my name is Steve Chapman. Day 3 of the NPFL 2024 championship is ongoing right now. They're in the midst of doing the weigh-in right now. And today has been really exceptional. Just a couple seconds ago, Kyle Welcher brought in 1914, which is absolutely ridiculous up there. He's currently in first place. But before the end of this video, I'll tell you who the winner is and who the top 10 anglers were also. Now, I mentioned it in yesterday's video, but it seems like viewership is down for this tournament, which is very confusing to me. And I'm comparing the championship to the stuff that they put out online in the regular season this year in 2025. Now, I do believe it could have been one of two things, maybe three. To start off, it might be just Hartwell. I don't know. But I think it might be a little of the next two. To start off with, they're using forward-facing sonar. And I think when you go online and you watch, and you've watched all year, and you don't know that they're using the 2024 rules, and you start to watch on YouTube, and you see that they're using forward-facing sonar, some fans are very discouraged. When I say that, I mean a lot of fans are discouraged. It was one of the most asked questions in the chat during the 3 days. It was not relayed or not told to many of the fans. They just maybe didn't realize it. The anglers were allowed to use forward-facing sonar. This was for the 2024 season. I know they're doing it at the end of 2025, but you have to use the rules from 2024. They were allowed to use forward-facing sonar then, so they're allowed to use it in this championship. And a lot of people, I think, they were disheartened by this whole process. And I think that's part of the problem. I think the second part could be that in 2025, we saw an influx of BPT, elite, and open anglers. Some of the bigger names in the industry joined the NPFL because they liked where they were going. They liked that the forward-facing sonar wasn't going to be allowed to use. So we had a major increase of bigger name anglers come into the league and just dominate. That's the truth. Like in 2025, 23 anglers from the elites, the BPs, won over 50% of the money overall. And those anglers didn't qualify for the 2024 championship. So I think it might be a little of both. Fans not happy with forward-facing sonar, and also fans not happy that their favorite anglers that join the NPFL in 2025 are not in this championship. And I think when you put it all together, it just was not viewed as much as the regular season fishing tournaments. And that's not a good thing for the NPFL, because this is the championship. This is where more eyes should be on it. And unfortunately, it just didn't happen this week. And like I said, there were more chatters that dropped into the chat, said hello, questioned why they were watching people staring down, and then I believe left. I also think the anglers are not watching the weigh-in as much either. And it is very disappointing. Now at 2:15 today, Scott Hamrick had just caught an unbelievable Hartwell largemouth at almost 6 pounds. We're going to see if that holds up. But MLF's Zach Burge made a massive comeback. He's currently in second, but there's still a lot of anglers yet to weigh in. Jason Williamson had a giant bag also with over 16 pounds. And then Kyle Welcher came in and brought in 1914. And that's really shaken up the whole top 10. But before I get into the top 10, I do think this has been a great tournament for the NPFL. Let's just say I think it's very good. I wish they would pick someplace where they catch big fish. I wish that it was no forward-facing sonar. We can't do anything about that. But I also wish that they would abide by the rules that they've set forth. And in one of the rules, they have a number 24, which is called live scoring. Now I'm going to read this. Anglers are required to update their NPFL live scoring system after every catch. This is vital to providing a live, real-time scoring update for fans as they watch the live broadcast. Additionally, updates will be received by the live feed production team and aid them in production decisions that will frame the narrative for each tournament. Failure to enter weights that directly impact production and storyline development may result in a penalty of up to 2 pounds per day. I think if you're going to have that rule, then you need to enforce it, or just remove it. This is the only time I think this is probably in someone else's rule book, but I think this rule needs to be enforced. No offense to the anglers. There are some sandbagging you-know-whats in the NPFL. Some guys, oh, I got 8, and then they show up with 15. Oh, I got 12 and show up with 19. This is something that if you're going to put it in there, you need to enforce it. And that's Rule 24. Because I really do think it impacted the storyline for this whole championship. I think it impacted production. I think that it's important for the anglers to do a good job of putting in what they have and not sandbagging. Because this ruins or helps deteriorate the storyline that the production people are trying to push out, to create storylines, to create narrative, to make things interesting. And to get on stage and to say you have 8 pounds in catch track and then wind up with 15, I don't believe that's being remotely true. And some anglers don't put it in because they don't want to, and they like doing this. But this rule says they shouldn't. And if they do it, they should be penalized. And officially, congratulations to Scott Hamrick, the 2024 NPFL Championship, who won $100,000 and the largest, biggest trophy in bass fishing. And it was made of platinum. Now the top 10 went Scott Hamrick, Michael Stout, Will Harkins, Patrick Walters, Kyle Welcher, Zach Burge, Drew Cook, Jason Burrows, Tim Reams, and Mike Quinlan. And we saw some absolutely humongous bags. Walters, Welcher, and Burge. Harkins too, all had an absolutely fabulous final day. So congratulations to the NPFL, congratulations to Scott, congratulations to everyone who was able to participate in this tournament. Now we don't know where they're going for 2025. We do know who's included or who's qualified for 2025. We just don't know where they're going yet. So we'll hopefully hear about that soon. Did you watch this tournament? Did you know what was going on? And what did you think? Did you think it was confusing? Comment below and tell me what you think. Thanks to all new subscribers and members and everyone who's interactive on this channel. It is so appreciated. Thanks to everybody in the chat who asked me questions. We talk back and forth and just have fun. It's really appreciated. It really, really is. It's fun to get on there and to just say hello to everybody. So thank you. But if you're not a subscriber, do me a favor. Click that like, subscribe, and click that notification bell so you know when the next video drops. Remember, take a kid fishing, tight lines, cheers, and get your fish on.